Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I just got a, I just got a text. Okay. I just got a text from somebody saying that Link2 is closing out the Anthropic block today. Anthropic is a competitor of OpenAI, and Amazon invested $4 billion. And then here we have this 100 most influential companies 2024 NVIDIA powering the AI explosion, the AI boom. Okay, and Link2 has, of course, Anthropic's what I just told you about, but they've got over 10 AI investments on the platform. They are my sponsor, and they do have AI investments. Go check them out, linqto.com. Reminder, every Tuesday at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, myself and Brad Combs will be doing an X Spaces. We'll do 30 minutes to an hour. Each week we go from one person's X platform to or X handle to the next. This week we're going to be doing it at DIG Perspectives on Brad Combs' channel. Then the following week, we'll do it on Digital Asset Investors. And we're doing it like that just to change it up some. Okay, it's going to be XRP, crypto, Trump. Now we've got Trump being the pro-crypto candidate. We've got Trump being indicted. What a fascinating topic. There's going to be a lot. And every once in a while, we're going to have guests too. We haven't, I don't know if we're having somebody this time or not. You're not ready for how wild things are going to get for XRP. This is one of those people who does the charting, and they are not like a XRP person, and that makes it interesting. Things are going to get wild. Let's see what wild looks like. His arrow takes wild up to $320. I hope it gets that wild. Then we got Ryan Selkis, who's aiming to get 100, let me get rid of this, aiming to get $100 million from the crypto community to Trump's campaign. Then we have this, Ryan Selkis is taking things to another level. I am on team Ryan Selkis now, and there was a time when we were at odds, folks, but make no mistake, I am on team Ryan Selkis now. I initially just wanted him fired, but now I hope President Trump puts Gary Gensler in jail for the much worse crime see, this is what, folks, that words mean things. This is what these people just did. They just opened a can of worms, because make no mistake, the criminals are the ones going after Trump, not the other way around. I mean, they're trying to dig up any kind of random thing they can on this guy from years back. But the real crimes not only have been committed by the people in power right now, but there's like blatant proof. And you don't have to take my word for it. Here's what Ryan Selkis is thinking. Put Gary Gensler in jail for much worse crime that not only interfered with the 2016 election, but undermined the first administration. The crypto Democrats under attack by Gensler's SEC might support this. You remember this moment.
Real quick, last question.
With Byron Donalds.
Hey, real quick, last question. I think it might have came up. You were Hillary Clinton's CFO in the campaign, right?
It's part of my history.
These were real crimes that nobody's done anything about. Real, serious crimes.
Yes or no?
In 2016.
Did you facilitate the payment for the Steele dossier since you were CFO of the Hillary Clinton campaign?
Sir.
Yes or no?
Sir.
Why
yes or no?
Why is my gut telling me that Trump just checkmated these pieces of garbage?
That was not.
You're under oath, Chairman Gensler. Yes or no?
I know. I was not something I was aware of.
I yield back the rest of my time. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, I'll do a a refresh here, and let's see. Ryan Selkis. It wouldn't surprise me if Ryan Selkis didn't love this little retweet. Check this out. One of the bad guys. This is parody on my part, but it's probably not parody. This Ian Kane has decided he wants to go after John Deaton. I've heard enough from John Deaton. This guy's an ambulance-chasing lawyer who lives in Rhode Island. He is moving here just to go viral for running against Elizabeth Warren. John doesn't want to go viral. John was already viral, buddy. But I picture Senator Warren getting on the phone, since Ian Kane is a Senator Warren plant, and her saying, I don't give a rat's ass if John Deaton represented cancer victims. It's time for you to get tough on him. I guess I could call him an ambulance chaser. She's been making a lot of calls lately. I think her last call was to Gary Gensler, getting mad at him about screwing up this whole crypto thing. Now here's Kathy Wood, who is a Bitcoin maxi, but she's making some serious sense here.
The fact that the Fed, the various Fed members, can get up every day and whip around all financial markets with a few words, or the nuances around a few words, is ridiculous. And right. It's just ridiculous. And the volatility that this is creating in the markets, that they are creating, and the boom busts that the Fed is creating. They blame everyone else, but it stems from errant monetary policy. So this idea of getting back to private money is very exciting.
Then we had our old buddy, Mike Novogratz. He doesn't want anything to do with Trump.
What about Trump? Have you given to the Trump campaign?
I have not given to Trump, and nor will I.
Right. In other words, I'm going to help Joe Biden get elected. I'm gonna help Operation Choke Point 2.0 and Senator Warren and Gary Gensler, because I have my I guess liberalism has clouded his judgment. If I haven't said it yet, folks, I'm a one-issue voter. I'm voting for the guy that's pro-crypto, and it is not any of Mike Novogratz's friends, I can tell you that. Now, Ryan Selkis is trying to cover for this guy. Me and Ryan Selkis are going to have to agree to disagree on this part. He says Novogratz is one of the good ones. We don't need him wasting political capital getting involved in the presidential race this year. Yeah, we do. We need everybody in crypto wasting political capital. Wasting political capital. It's not wasting his political capital. This guy and Scaramucci, I don't like them. They're both extremely, and it's not that I don't like them because they're anti-Trump. I don't like them because everywhere where there seems to be something shifty going on in crypto, they pop up, whether it's ETHgate or FTX. They just always happen to be there, where it smells like there's market manipulation going on. These two guys are always there. And then here's Novo explaining that someone has to sell these digital assets, which this is why I still have a beef with this guy. It's in my crawl. I remember for years when it didn't make any sense, he would go on these shows intentionally and brag about how he shorted XRP or he doesn't understand XRP. And he's saying in this clip how someone has to, with a digital asset, since it's so new, someone has to sell it, which would also mean that if you wanted to try to hold back a digital asset, someone would have to sell the idea of shorting it and not understanding it. You know, the way he did, the way Anthony Pompliano has, the way many of these people who I've been convinced are working for someone or are in a group where they all spread around the same talking points so that they can help Bitcoin and Ethereum and now Solana and hurt the others like XRP and Cardano. There's not a doubt in my mind that this kind of stuff's been going on. Here he is.
Bitcoin is sold, right? There's an army, all of you are part of it, that convinced someone of the merit.
There's an army of people with talking points that have been doing this, selling Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now Solana. And he's a part of that army. There's also been an army that has intentionally been trying to hold keep the price of XRP down. And you can point to those that were involved. We've shown you all the video.
Of crypto, of Bitcoin or Ethereum or Ripple if you're Brad Garlinghouse, right? This is a really interesting point. Because it's a new asset, it almost is always sold, right? Larry Fink got orange pilled. He didn't wake up one day and say, God, let me become a Bitcoin firm. There was a concerted effort by 10, 12 people to convince them of why Bitcoin was important for the future. And so now you've got hundreds of salesmen at Morgan Stanley and the other, RIAs all around America who are learning the story themselves and picking up the phone and telling their clients, put 2% of your portfolio. What are you scared of? Right? That conversation is starting to happen. This is a 10-year conversation, not a 10-week conversation.
Now we know Bill Hinman has been reported to the Bar Association in New York and in California, and we know that he's being investigated by the SEC Inspector General. But that's not all that's going on still, and because he's not the only one that needs to be investigated. You still have that Empower Freedom of Information Act lawsuit with that long list of people that were involved in ETHgate or potentially involved in ETHgate, and Mike Novogratz is on it. And then we've got our old buddy Joseph Lubin. Everybody was at Consensus. Speaking
Big
of,
banks in America prefer to keep winning a rigged game, essentially. And those two entities would, I think, like to see American citizens disconnected from Ethereum so that they can keep their ways of operating intact. So that's the backdrop. And what we've been seeing from the current SEC administration for the last few years is deep and broad scrutiny of everything that we're doing. And it's not just us, it's virtually every company in our space.
all right, all of a sudden, now this is great, folks. You got to see this, okay? This is a bizarre moment right here. You had the Prometheum CEO, who is backed by China and the CCP, Wang Zhang, through Wang Zhang. And they're interviewing him, and all of a sudden he's about to answer a question about Ethereum, and they break away from him and go to some weirdo with a motorcycle helmet on.
But what does that mean for Prometheum? I understand this point about staking, but if the SEC does take the view that ETH is a commodity, does that mean that you're no longer able to custody ETH and eventually be able to offer it for trading?
We will read a question for you. What is the difference? What do you think the difference is?
If I'm running Consensus, that guy never gets anywhere near the front door. What in the world are you going to let somebody come to a conference like this, sit on stage with a freak hiding themselves on a motorcycle? That's ridiculous.
Between community and virtual societies, what's the distinction?
Yeah, well, first of all, very important for me to come here IRL to talk about virtual worlds, right? That makes a ton of sense.
That completely undermines the seriousness of, that's the reason Brad Combs doesn't let anybody come into XRP Las Vegas that's hiding their face. It's ridiculous. It makes it a joke. Okay, now check this out. Here's Brad Garlinghouse at Consensus. He said this is not the first time he's brought up Dogecoin.
It's shocking to me that the United States, the largest economy in the world, represents the bottom decile of regulatory clarity. I think when you get the real unlock of the United States economy and you get the real institutional money flowing in, I think it's just hard to predict some of the upside opportunity. But the biggest thing I'll highlight, and like, where does this go? We have to be about more than speculation. You know, I get a ton of when I say these things, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think Dogecoin has been a good thing for the industry. And I'm not anti-Dogecoin, but it's like, I don't know what the use case is. I don't know, like, are there projects being built to solve real utility? And I see lots of real utility across lots of different, chains. And I think that is what is critical. And what's for me, the 10-year prediction has to be about, it's not about speculation. It's about solving real problems.
All right, now, I believe Brad Garlinghouse, there's three themes that Brad Garlinghouse keeps beating over the head. These are the adults in the room. They're trying to tell the rest of the industry. Brad Garlinghouse has been trying to tell the rest of the industry the basics of what's going on, folks. And here's the problem that's been going on. You got Ripple and you got XRP. You got several adults in the room, and I would include Stellar in that and several others. Maybe like a Hedera Hashgraph or several others. These are the adults in the room. These are the people that have been working with regulators and all this. These are the people that they know that there is not going to be any down with the banks and all that stupid stuff. Then you got this other part of the industry that points to this adult conversation and say, well, what are you talking about? XRP's still at 50 cents and it hasn't gone up yet, and so you're not right. Man, these are children, man. I'm telling you, when this story is finished being written, these kids are going to look like a bunch of idiots and cartoon monkeys, okay? Now, I'm in DAIXRP.com. I'm going to go into the themes of Brad Garlinghouse. There's 3 things he keeps hitting. I'm going to go into those 3 things, and I'm going to back it up with some other adults in the room that are on video that I've shown before. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to be feeling sorry for these kids when this thing is all over, folks. Because when this thing's all over, they're going to feel like a bunch of pets.com morons, okay? I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that if they like pets.com, and they were big believers in pets.com that had no business plan, but some cute commercials with puppet dogs on them, if that's their thing, they don't need to come in DAIXRP.com. This is going to be adult talk. Here we go.